Again, I forgot to connect this. So hang on. Okay. Right. Alrighty then. Now we're off and running. All right. So we have a man here, 22, male, India. And he says, I sleep a lot when I get sad inside. Why is that? I don't sleep normally this much. As I wrote it down for you when we were still waiting for the program to start, I wrote, when we are sad, we get a bit cozy and energy goes towards cuddling ourselves emotionally, and sleeping seems safe and comforting and rejuvenates us and brings balance, tranquility, comfort, and health and energy. And we need all that when we are sad. So you feel like sleeping, cuddling, putting on, going on the blanket, that's normal. Taking care of yourself. Stephen is here, male, 42, Los Angeles. Says, I'm at work tonight and listen to your emails on the way here. I feel really down. Well, I wrote down for you in here while we were waiting that you give too much credit and attention to the image you have made of her in your own mind. Otherwise, when you think and see her as she is in actuality, and you see the problems and her behavior and treatment of you, then you will no longer be down because you will see that she is of the quality that you need nothing to do with and does not satisfy you, but the image you have made of her is not her. And that is what you want. You want that image to be your girlfriend. And you've created that image of a girlfriend, but that image is not her at all. So you feel sad, you don't have, but what is it that you don't have? You don't have the image you have made of her in your mind. Otherwise, if you really focus who she is and what she treats, how she treated you, and what she's all about, you don't want her. But you have fallen in love with the image that you've made of her. Uh, so that's what you want of your girlfriend, and that is the trap that you have made for yourself. So that's why you're sad, because you constantly think that she is actually what you think she is. But what you think she is, or what you're missing, is what you have made of her in your mind. You need to focus on her and the actuality of relationship and how she behaved, what she did, and how she interacts. And all that, then you can see that first, you got to let go of the image. The image is not real. And you focus on her reality and say, well, look, I don't want it. But you haven't come to that conclusion because you're constantly focusing on what need a breathing woman, warm, breathing woman would provide you. So you're focusing on what need would be satisfied by having a girlfriend rather than the quality and characteristics of the girlfriend that was not acceptable and not at par with your standards. And that's what you've been struggling with for the past 6 months, and you will continue to struggle with because you cannot move on from a perfect image you have made of her in your mind. That image is not real, but it's so wonderful and makes you feel good and has got no memory or inclusion of all the problems and her shortcomings. So how could you move on from that perfect example, specimen, image you have made of her? You got to face the reality. Throw that image out. That's not her. And then focus on what she's really all about. And Steven says, I guess you're right. Makes sense. I created an image of a nice, loving girl. I need to turn this around. So you think it's my brain fooling me? No, you're fooling your brain. You actually allow what the brain secretes or presents, suggests in your head to be an actuality rather than say, okay, that's fucked up. That's not her. That's what I created for my comfort, my own selfishness, my own ego. I made something so perfect out of someone who had a basics of what one wants to come make out of it. In other words, you had a canvas You had the basic. You had a woman as a girlfriend. That's canvas. But you weren't focusing on what this canvas is all about, how kind of what kind of a grain it has, what weaves it is, what it can take and cannot, what you can draw on it or you cannot, what characteristics it has or not. But instead, you went and started making that basic girlfriend that you had into something that you really wanted, which it wasn't her. But that was all it was available to you. So you turned her into your brain, an image that you would love. And you started having a relationship with this image, not with her. That's why it never worked. She was fucked up, did so many shitty things, and you couldn't really see her to measuring up to your standards. So that's the problem. And you still don't want to let that go. You still have worked into your brain that that image that you created of her is actually a real person. It's actually her. It's not. You go back to her 100 times, she'll be the same shit. Because what you're going back is not the image, is her. And she's the canvas, the basic. It's got none of the credentials that you use to create that image. You gotta come to reality and say, look, image or no, image or herself, it's broken up. I don't want that. It didn't work out. What's the use of breaking up if you still want to suck up to her ass? Why? What's the reason for you to actually think this girl is a solution to your life? You have made her to be a solution to your life. You've created an image of her out of that basic girl. You've put all kinds of bells and whistles on her. You created an image of her. You love that image. And then what do with that image? You hold her high and you feel that's the exact girl that you want, and you fail to see who she really is. So how can you move on from that? How can you move on from something that you have created yourself? It's your choice, and you're so proud of it. There's no way you want to, get rid of it because you can't find anything more perfect. But you've created something, an image, and you've considered that image to be a solution of your life. But there's no reality to it. So you created something based on your need, not based on who she was. So you needed that relationship. So you took that by heart and tried to satisfy your need. And then you turned that need into a solution to your life. So how can you get rid of something that you think it's a solution to your life and it's what you need? And you really need that. You don't have any power to get rid of it, especially you, who's turned out to be a pussy willow. You need the ugly stick, not on your head, and every fucking part of you to break you open and turn you into brand new, put it back together. But you can do that yourself. Just realize what you're really loving or missing is something to fulfill and satisfy your need. So you take anything just because it could possibly satisfy your need. You're selecting based on your need. You fell in love based on your need. But she's not the solution. You turn that into a solution of your life. Unless you see it clear, you can't move on from this. Why would you move on from something that to you is proven so perfect and so good? First, you got to chop it down in your brain and break that image down and see that it was an image, not the real person. The real person is still just one of those demanding, putting guilt on you and not responsible. 6 months later, it says, where are my stuff? It doesn't understand. Every time she wants to text in as, what the fuck is it? You broke up or you part of the family? Why you keep coming back about the dog's birthday? Why you keep coming back about whatever else that is an excuse for you to contact you? What for? What do you contact me for? What do you think this is? Just go away, and when you can't get what you want from out there, then you're coming back? I don't know how that works. And I'm surprised that you haven't actually dealt with that. You don't have the seriousness about respecting yourself and being in love with yourself first, but you're in love with an image, and whoever can kind of get close to that image, you suck up to it. You allow them to do anything. You shit on your head, come, go. What is this, a toilet or a restaurant? Anybody comes and goes, revolving door, doesn't matter. First, fix up your own standards, expectations, and then you can move on. But unless you do that, you can't move on. You're ballless man if you can't move on. I don't mean to demean you. I love you. But I'm trying to make it clear to you that you don't seem to respect or love yourself. You love that image and you represent her as your fucking boss, your solution to your life. You are the solution to your life, not her. They come and go. If you cannot be the solution to your life, the one that will seek your need and find a qualified producer of your need, you won't be able to survive in this relationship stuff. So you got to be a little bit more passionate about yourself and respecting yourself. Steve said, I feel depressed at the moment. You think if I had someone else that I liked, I'd forget about this person? There is no person. This person doesn't exist. There is that person that you're talking about is not her. It's your imagination, because the actuality shows you that she was a fuck up. Unless you just don't want to see that. You only want to see when you're between her legs. But the rest of it, before and after, doesn't matter. Well, that's on you. You got to separate your pleasure with her from her character and how she treated you and how the relationship was. And once you separate that, then you can see clear to say, well, that's not what I expect. And there's so many other women better than her. But keep thinking of her, you can't go forward there. You can't be looking back and drive forward. You're going to crash into something. So, I said all there need to be said. Otto Gapco says, male 54, Canada, says, good advice for the young folks, Mehran. Tell it straight. There you go. Tim Subs says, hi, 19 male England. Mr. Mehran, hello there. Says, I've been feeling bad lately. I recently went to a karate grading and I was told by my sensei that there was a misunderstanding and the email he sent me wasn't confirmed. This was really embarrassing as I made my parents do a 2-hour journey to come with me for basically no reason. I see. Well, that's all right. It was an honest mistake. It just teaches you next time, confirm if you're going to have an exam or not. And yet, the good news is that you worked hard for that exam. So you've really elevated much more than you think, even though you didn't take the exam. So, no harm done. And your parents would love to see you just for you. They don't care if it's 2 hours or not. You guys were together. And that was a good excuse. And you felt good about it, about them being around. Just imagine how you were feeling before you find out that it's not your turn to take that test. But nevertheless, you worked hard for that test, thinking that you have one, and you gained lots of experience and you're now better than before. And that's worth the whole thing. So don't worry about it. Don't feel so embarrassed or bad. It doesn't matter. No harm done. If you knew how your parents feel, that they were willing to travel 2 hours to see you, then you would have known that they didn't come to see you take a test. They don't care. They just love to see you. That was an excuse for them to be with you. You know, they wanted to come and see you anyhow, but you kind of wanted to be on your own type of thing, maybe. So they didn't have an excuse. As soon as you say there is an exam, I was, oh, sure, we're coming. But they really just wanted to see you, so they did. There's nothing that you did, negative for them. They're happy. All right, guys, we have a reason to celebrate. There are whopping 9 people on our stream, which is a record for a long time. I mean, before we used to have 40, 30, 32 people like many years ago, but somehow I think our channel is shadow banned. It's too honest and it's too informative. So they don't like it. Nobody sees us. A live stream like this would have at least 900 or, so many zeros in front of that 9 would be the number of people participating. But nobody knows, nobody sees. Even our channel after 13 years is 27,000 subscribers rather than having, 2.7 million. Somehow, I think we're shadow banned. I don't know for what fuck reason, but that's what it is. So we have Ashley Takur here. Says, hi, Sarah. You missed my question. Did I, Ashley? Let's go back to your question. Where is it? Ah, there is one. Ashley says, male 28, India. Thank you, Ashley. And is it Ashley? No, it's Akshay. I'm sorry about that. Akshay. Akshay, male 28, India, says, why only tough situations feel like the end of my life? Why any tough situations feels like the end of my life? A breakup, a fight feels like there is nothing left in life. But you gotta question yourself when you feel that way. Say, I feel like nothing's left in life. So how you feel, you put a name to it. You label it. It's called relabeling. You relabel what you're feeling. You say, I feel like nothing left in my life. Then you reframe it. You say, is there nothing left in my life? Well, I feel like there is nothing left. How? Quickly you become aware that you're just bullshitting. You're just creating something out of nothing. Because it's a feeling, it's not the reality that there's really nothing left in my life. It's just a feeling based on a need of intimacy and need to feel or look big in front of, I don't know, your parents or people that have a girlfriend and this and that. And you have made that desire to fulfill that pleasure, that need, you've made that your whole entirety of experience of life. And when you have made that to be the entirety experience of your life, naturally, when it's not working, you think that's the end of life because you concluded that this whole experience is the whole entirety of your life. So when the experience doesn't work, you think the entirety of life is gone, so you feel like there's nothing left in your life. So you give enough credit to what it is according to its worth. You can't say, I have an apple, and that apple worth all my belonging and my wealth. And it's worth everything I have, including my health. You can't do that. Just have an apple. From 1 to 100, or 1 to 10, this is value of half, 0.5, not even 1, 0.5. But when you say I have an apple and the apple is 10, then when the apple falls off your hand or just finished, oh, I've got nothing left because you created that to be everything. That's your mistake. Otherwise, it's not that there's nothing left in your life. You made something which was nothing, just a fragment of your life, your whole totality of your life. So when it's not working, you think your whole totality of life. Naturally, you've conditioned your brain to think that way. So a breakup, a fight feels like there's nothing left in life. Well, because you made her and that relationship to be everything that is worthwhile in your life. And when it's not working, you think nothing in your life working. That's called emotional thinking. That either everything is perfect, or if there's something, one fragment of some part of your life is not, then everything is bad. It's all or nothing. You got to change that. and then your life will be perfectly fine because you see things in proper proportion. If you have a car and the car doesn't work, you can't say, my life is over. My car doesn't work. My car of my life doesn't work. I gotta get it fixed. That's it. End of story. It's not including the whole entirety of your life. But if you consider your car to be the most important thing in your life, then when it's not working, then you think, my life is over. So it's not the reality, you just created some fictional bullshit that now you're believing in that, and then that messes you up. So I don't feel, says, okay, how can I feel, how can I find my life's purpose? Like your life purpose is there. But these are not your life purpose. Relationship is not your life purpose. Relationship is your intimacy, what you want to have to feel good, to provide, to make yourself feel like a man, because you're providing for a family, you want to have children later. But these are not for when you are, how old are you? These are not for when you are 28 years old. When you get married and have children, then you can give certain kind of importance to all these fragments of your life. But a relationship is over, that's the end of your life. So what happened to your mom, your dad, your studies, your job, your aspirations, your hopes, your plans, your future wife, your children, every fucking thing that you wanted to accomplish, it's all in this relationship. Where are your values, hierarchy of values in life? You just were thrown out of the world, out of the sky. Nobody gave you birth, nobody raised you, nobody gave you love, nobody clothed you, nobody fed you. You didn't go to school, you don't have teachers, you don't have friends, you didn't learn sports or something, you don't like things that are your hobbies, you don't have wishes, and you don't have a dream job, and you don't have other plans in life to accomplish, buy a house, buy a car, make money. None of that matters. Only this relationship. That's it. Your whole life is condensed to a relationship. That's it. Thinking. So we go back to the first question. Is really everything in my life gone? Or I feel like nothing in my life is there. No? So you ask yourself, just as you feel, I feel like it's the end of my life. Then you reframe it. Is it really end of my life? Or I feel like it's end of my life. Then you say, oh, what the fuck am I talking about? It's not end of my life. It feels like it. Why does it feel like it? Because I made one thing to be like representing everything in my life, which is bullshit. Bullshit. So then you quickly become aware that you're just talking out of your where? Right you are. All right. Now, Tim says, I have a bad habit of comparing myself to people who started karate at the same time as me, and in school, other people who are now doing better than me. I don't want to let my parents down, but I feel like I constantly let myself down. Well, your parents are not there to feel proud of you or not. They're already proud of you because you are their son. And they cheer for you regardless of what you're doing, what sport it is. But they don't expect you to win or to shine in this way or that way or be better than so many other people or not. They're just there to support something that you love to do. That's all. So they love you unconditionally. You don't let them down by whether winning or losing or participating in an exam or not. It's not, they're not there to say, oh, we're there to elevate him if he can make us feel pleasure by watching him do a special karate technique. No, they don't give a shit. They just come to see you, support you. That's all. So they love you already. You don't let them down. Stop talking like that. And Steven says, my friend's trying to set me up with some girl, but I'm not attracted to. My ex being the way she is got me feeling like this. Feel like things aren't how I want them to be. I hope this is all turns around. It's not about turn around. It doesn't need to turn around. You're just having a wrong premise on this whole thing. Your girlfriend wasn't hot shit. You turned her into believing that she is because you needed her to be better than she was, but she wasn't. So you created something out of her. And somehow you're falling for that shit. You're falling for the ditch that you dug. And you actually believe that she was that good. Are you fucking, how much money have you spent talking to me? And you told me exactly what she's done and how she's been. But you can't see it yourself? So that's all it takes for a girl to text you and tell you she expects something, and suddenly that's it, shit in your pants. Can you answer your own question? Why is it that you actually think she's anything? What? You're in California. Don't you see so many beautiful girls? Don't you see so many educated girls? Don't you see so many feminine girls who want to actually cater to their relationship? Yet, you put all that aside as if they don't exist because you're lazy to go and find something better. And you keep sticking to this one's ass, which is proven to you that is not qualified. So, what is it here? Your laziness, your lack of patience, your need for not being lonely. None of that justifies as a qualification for her. Those are your shortcomings, your challenges. Your challenges does not mean that this girl is exactly what you need that will take away all these challenges. No, it just means you don't want to go find what suits you, what is qualified for you, meets your standards. You're settling for the easy thing that is here, and you're hoping that that easy thing that is still plays Dixie will somehow come back and you can make it up with that. Steven says, Mira, should I just ignore her last text about how I should have texted her to pick up her stuff? I never replied and probably won't anymore. Why? Because you're what? You're afraid you will offend her, that she will never call you again? Is that what you're hoping? That's what hanging around. That's the whole fuck up is. You're waiting for her to text you and you're afraid to block her because you say, if I at least have a whiff of her fart, that means she's still in my life. No. Be ready for getting rid of things that don't work. Then you will open space for other things to come in. As long as you have her hanging around, lurking around, you keep her like that with hopes of that she will text you and you don't want to answer anyhow. So what the fuck you don't block her? But with all that, you're taking all the chances of jeopardizing all the chances you could have with other girls because you preoccupied your head with that shit. That relationship is over. I'll go on by doing the right thing. If you would just text her, say, look, stop contacting me and I've thrown all your shit out. You had all this time to pick it up. I don't want to hear you blaming me or anything. I want to have nothing to do with you. And you just block her after that. You don't even want to hear back from her. If you can do that, then you've got balls. And then you will go on and find another girl. But if you don't, you will be hanging on her ass, hoping that she would shit so you can spell it and say, oh, that used to be my girlfriend. I'm making it a little bit funny and disrespectful for you because I'm tired of you not respecting yourself. Constantly questioning, what should I do? You should have done what I'm telling you 6 months ago. block her, and know that there is no way for her to be able to contact. Then you can go on. You can't keep holding to the dock and hoping that you can swim away, go to this shore over there. You can't. Make up your mind. Begin a new life. A new Stephen. Strong. A man with dicks and balls. And he's nice to his girlfriend, the girlfriend is not complying, is not meeting her end of the bargain, is not behaving or treating you well, cut it off. Adios, amigos, and blockos. And I no want to talk to you. That's how you talk about it. I'm moving on from this. Ash is here. Says, when I do special karate techniques, my family love me more. When I use my techniques on them, they love me less. Says, hey, Mehran, your mic is crackling, man. Well, I'm sorry. That's is everybody having a hard time to hear me? Is that what it is? After all that brilliant speech, you tell me now? Where were you all? Was it crackling on all of you? Jesus, we're breaking records. It's been 20 minutes. We've been having 9 people. Tim Sub says yes. Damn it. I'm not going to. You mean you guys didn't understand what I'm saying? None of them? None? Oh, I know what it is. Yes. Okay, is this still crackling? When I'm talking, is it still crackling? I spoke too soon. I lost one. It's down to 8. Understood everything you said, but it was crackling. Oh, sorry about that. Tim says yes. Yes, what? Is it better now? Do you mean it's better? Is it still crackling, guys? If it's not crackling, then I know what it was for. Then I can explain. It's still cracking. Okay. Still? Is it? Still crackling? I'm not even touching the paper. Crackling, crackling, crackling. Is it still crackling? The issue is with cable connection, I think. Well, the cable connection is, as it always was, try to readjust cables. Will do. It's mute. It was mute now. Is it any better now? Does it work any better? I'm talking so you can judge and see if it's still crackling or not. So, what do you think? Is it any better? It's all good? Oh, it's perfect now. Wunderbar. All right, then. Okay, good. Thank you for that. So I guess the combination of cables, combination of this screen to be away from the actual mic, so it won't be hitting it to crackle, and my hands will be away from table, and I guess add to it that I won't talk. It won't crackle. All right, all righty then. So for the life of me, I cannot repeat whatever I said. So so fuck it. And I'm afraid to touch anything now. Ooh, very softly. Very softly. All right. Okay. Go ahead, guys. We've got 12 people now. Don't you jinx it. Hallelujah. We are moving up now. Oops, I spoke too soon. Lost 4. It says, Dash says, it's the vibrational power of the chakras disturbing electrical components. Yes, that's right. All right. So I will now rest until you guys come up with the question. Thank you very much. Well, maybe I should just throw in the towel for the night. We've answered all the questions. There's no more here. I can watch Star Trek for a bit and then hit the sack. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So that's the point that I'll say. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. And by the sound of the bell, Ash says, I have a question. And he says, what's the best way to prevent a girl from wasting your time on whether she's interested or not? She's not wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You expect a quicker respond. And if she doesn't, you don't have to request it, just disappear. If she comes back and says, hey, how have you been? You know, how come you disappeared? You say, well, because I didn't know if you're coming or going. Simple. The problem is that many of us hesitate to be straightforward with the girl as if she's some kind of a delicate china that's going to break if you speak the truth, or if you expect something, or if you don't butter her up. Stop paying ransom to get some. If you like her, great. If she likes you, she got to let you know, just as you let her know by your behavior and attention you pay for her. If she doesn't do that, you're wasting your time because you're not making a judgment. You're waiting for her to make a decision when she's going to let you know that she wants to be with you or not. Well, you set the time. You say, in 2 dates, I'll know if she's into me or not. In fact, 1 date is enough. And if she's not giving the right answer, go on. Don't wait for her to decide. You decide. You say, well, I was with this girl for a date. I felt good. I liked her. But I'm a man. I'm visual. She looked maybe sexy, or she looked presentable. I liked her. Or she had a nice smile, or she was attentive, whatever. But then after that, she's not available to go on a date, or we went on a second date and she wasn't really, as, affected me the way she did the first time. So then if there's no interaction, positive interaction as you expect it to be, as you're putting forward, then you make the decision and you just cut down your time and attention towards her and start focusing on some other options. If she comes back, say, what happened to you? Say, well, it's nothing. I was trying to get to know you. I was interested to get to know you. However, I felt that you're not paying enough respect to our relationship. That told me that you're not that interested. And I always like to respect the woman's choice. And so I simply moved on rather than hanging around for you to say, to spend time when you feel like it or when you don't have anything else to do. I like to know if I put you as a priority, the girl who also likes me shows it to me by giving certain kind of a time and effort and priorities. And that wasn't there. So I'm gone. Well, if she then makes it up to you, in more ways than in the level of attention, so then you'll reconsider. But she's not wasting your time. You hanging around for her to make a decision is on you. And Ash's perfect answer, I knew I was wasting my time but because I'm low on option at the moment, I'm hanging around unnecessary. Yeah, you're right. Steven says, I need a lot of work. Huh, Miran? You don't really. You think you make this such a big fucking dilemma that you think you need a lot of work. No, you just need a couple of extra balls. Because the two that I think every man has is missing in you for the past 6 months. Go find them and put them back there. Suddenly, the light will pop up and you'll be dealing with as you should have. He says, I hope this all turns around. You are hoping for nothing. This will not turn around unless you turn it around. It is you. You have the key. You have the answer. You're waiting for somebody else to solve it for you. You're waiting for her to disappear. You're waiting for her not to text you. You're waiting for her to come and suck up your dick. I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for. You make a decision. You block her, and then that's it. You're free to go. It's not going to turn around. Don't wait for anything to turn around. You make things turn around. You make a decision. Open a path for yourself. That's how you go ahead. Just like you did at your work. You're diligent, perseverance, and you made decisions, stuck with it, and there we go. Things look easy. All right, guys, it's time for me to mosey on out and go on Star Trek. And again, that's the time I say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. Please do promote the channel. We had a whopping 12 number here, and it was great feelings that we are kind of being a little bit, having a little bit of exposure. Please share the videos on the social media that you like, the videos that you like, and please promote the channel any way you can, and talk about it on chat lines, and if you like, and let people know that we are here and we want to reach more people and help more people. Until our next live stream, please be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.